Now at 10, not a weekend washout, but we do have some rain to time out for you. We'll get you all set coming up.
The battle over the ballot in Bridgeport continues playing out, and now for its second day in court. We'll tell you which key witness took the stand and what that means moving forward.
And another season of UConn men's and women's basketball is right around the corner, and the players, coaches, and students all gathered at Gamble tonight to get ready for tip-off. We'll take you to the first night celebration in stores.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And we begin tonight on the Weather Watch. Expect some rain to start off your weekend. Thanks for joining us here for the news at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Thankfully, it's not looking like it's an all-out washout like we were talking about earlier this week. That's good news for the Hartford Marathon, but bad news for anyone looking to go out in the afternoon.
For instance, to put up new shutters. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for more on that timeline. So, Rach, when do we expect things to clear up, maybe?
First of all, you can get started on those gutters first thing tomorrow morning, and then we'll clear things out heading into Sunday. So there will be plenty of time this weekend that you can get in some stuff outside. And I think, again, all morning tomorrow is dry, but as we head through the afternoon and evening, we'll see rain start to build in from southwest to northeast. If you are in the Hartford area, anywhere I've shaded in green, there is a chance for very, very little rain, mainly later in the day or at night, but much of the time will be dry. Right now in Hartford, we are dry. We're looking at temperatures in the upper 40s to right around 50 degrees, and we don't anticipate any rain as we head through the overnight hours. Temperatures will stay in the 40s as we head towards daybreak, and you can see the system that we're tracking that will mostly dive to the south of us. We're just going to be on the northern fringe of things as the storm passes by, but this is great news for the Hartford Marathon. You might even wake up and see a couple breaks in the overcast, a hint of sunshine. Otherwise, the clouds take over. Just dress warmly, unless, of course, you're running. Temperatures will be in the 50s through the race, and we'll see high temperatures tomorrow that will end up climbing into the mid to upper 50s as we head through the afternoon, with a rising chance for those showers developing as we head through the day, and especially, at least in the Hartford area, later in the day and at night. We'll take a closer look at the future radar and the improvements for Sunday coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. Day 2 of arguments to overturn Bridgeport's primary election results for mayor. And in court today, we saw never-before-seen surveillance video, plus testimony from 3 more witnesses.
And taking the stand today, the woman at the center of the now viral surveillance video, Wanda Jeter-Pataki. Fox 61's Jake Garcia has details from Bridgeport and a preview of what we can expect next week.
Good morning, everyone. You may be seated.
Day 2 of the court hearings questioning the legitimacy of the Bridgeport mayoral primary began with the man who oversees absentee ballots taking the stand. Attorney Bill Bloss highlighting state law that requires a town clerk's signature or name on the outer envelope in order to be counted.
I would say it's acceptable.
How about the signature?
Maybe.
The legal team for mayoral candidate John Gomes claims the city did not have the proper elements on the town clerk's stamp in order to count.
Every absentee ballot that was counted in the city of Bridgeport failed to comply with a mandatory Connecticut state law.
While the city claims they had to use a temporary stamp due to a manufacturer defect. After lunch, Wanda Jeter-Pataki, the woman at the center of the now viral video, arrived at the Fairfield County Courthouse to take the stand.
Voted in favor of Mayor Ganem, endorsing Mayor Ganem.
Yes. Jeter-Pataki watched quietly while never-before-seen surveillance video was played, which Gomes' attorney says shows her and 9 other people, some with her, making 24 ballot drops at various times in the days leading up to the primary. One clip appears to show her high-fiving someone after a drop.
Ms. Jeter-Pataki, is that you with absentee ballots?
Her attorney objecting to invoke her right to remain silent. But she wasn't the only one to plead the fifth. The day ended with a candidate for City Council, Anita Martinez, taking the stand with very little testimony. Attorneys for the city of Bridgeport admitting the primary may have not gone by the book, but say there's still not enough evidence to void the results.
This election may have had bad actors involved. I'm not saying that that didn't occur, but it's not to a level that would disenfranchise all the thousands of voters who did it right.
Though he's denied allegations, questions remain if Bridgeport Mayor Joe Ganem was aware or involved in alleged conspiracy. City attorneys say that's grasping at straws.
So this great conspiracy that we've all been hearing about isn't there.
Mayor Joe Ganim has been subpoenaed to appear in court to take the stand when court resumes Tuesday morning.
And it's also not the rest of the evidence.
In Bridgeport, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Jake. A new at 10 tonight, a Manchester woman will spend at least 2 years in prison for not going to the police once she realized 2 of her friends murdered someone. Shamari Smith was sentenced today. She pleaded guilty last summer to helping cover up the murder of Francisco Roman Jr. back in December of 2020. That man was kidnapped at gunpoint, killed in his own car, and then his body was lit on fire as his killers tried to hide the evidence. Court documents show Smith was not with the 2 men who killed Roman, but knew what had happened. Roman's killers were both sentenced earlier this year.
Also new tonight, fire crews rescue a person stuck in a house fire in New London. The fire department released this video of the home on Squire Street. They say the house went up in flames just after noon today. Someone was stuck on the top floor, but they were pulled down without injury. It's not clear how many people were displaced by the fire. The marshal's office is still investigating exactly what happened.
A former Glastonbury police officer stands accused of more than 30 burglaries spanning 3 states. According to Patrick Hemingway's arrest warrant, he targeted safes and cash registers at multiple businesses in Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. All of the incidents happening between February and June of this year while Hemingway was an officer with the Glastonbury Police Department. He resigned from his position last month. Right now, Hemingway is not charged for the burglaries, but he's being held on $1 million bond for computer crimes charges.
Law enforcement determines multiple bomb threats made today across the state were unfounded. The TSA says Tweed New Haven Airport received an email saying bombs were placed at every airport in the state. Similar threats were also made towards synagogues. State police determined those threats were not credible. Police are monitoring the threats and are investigating who's behind them.
New details in a gruesome case from back in 2019. A Hartford man has been sentenced after being found guilty of animal torture. Patrick Sochoki will serve 1 year behind bars, followed by at least 5 years probation. He was pulled over 5 years ago, and officers found a mutilated rabbit in his car. An investigation found that he had purchased that rabbit from a pet store just minutes before. Sochoki was charged with malicious killing of an animal.
The Hartford Marathon is tomorrow, and a heads up, there are many road closures for the event. Some roads are already closed tonight. 50,000 people, runners and spectators, are expected. Hartford Mayor Luke Bronin says the amount of businesses the marathon brings into his city is well worth the travel headache.
Go and explore some of the great Hartford restaurants and coffee shops and other places too. In fact, we just opened a new brewery on Pratt Street just in time.
The Eversource Hartford Marathon has raised more than $9 million for local charities since its inception. For the full details on the race, including which roads will be closed and when, visit our website, fox61.com, or download the free Fox 61 News app.
It's that time of year again. UConn basketball season officially begins in just a few weeks.
And before then, though, it was time to get UConn Nation excited. Tonight was the school's annual first night celebration at Gamble Pavilion.
And that's where we find Fox 61's Gabby Molina tonight, live in stores with more on all the excitement. Gabby, how'd it go?
It was awesome, Brent and Sarah. You know, coming off of a national championship win, there is just so much excitement about this upcoming season. And fans that I spoke to said that they think that both the men and the women have what it takes to bring home yet another title.
Best time of the year.
Best time of the year at UConn. We are so excited. We've been talking about it literally all day.
UConn Nation is ready for the Huskies to take the college basketball world by storm yet again.
Repeats. That's what I'm hoping for. I have a lot of hope for this incoming team.
First night is a tradition to kick off the college basketball season and get fans and the teams excited for what's to come. Starting off with a block party before introducing the players that will hopefully lead UConn to another title.
It's a fun night for them as well. They get a kick out of performing, and this is just a performance for them.
It's a wake-up call too, you know, like the first time you walk into Gamble and it's a little bit cold out, you know winter's coming, and then you get in there, you feel the electricity.
The electricity buzzing through Gamble Pavilion Friday night as the players showed off their skills. On the brand new court that now lets everyone know Storrs is the basketball capital of the world.
It's accurate, You know, if it was like delusional or inaccurate, I would have been against it. But you know, the success on both sides with the national championships and the recent history.
That's what our fans say. That's what we always say. So if you're going to say it, then do it. So we did it.
It's what some students say makes UConn so special.
I would say that was like a big part of my decision into coming here, and I'm so glad that I came here.
I grew up watching UConn basketball, so it's like a dream come true just being here in this atmosphere. It's really great.
And say this season will be no different.
It's like no other campus, honestly.
Both the men and the women open their seasons right here at Gamble, the women on November 4th and the men on November 6th. Live in stores, Gabby Molina, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.